where did all the good people go? Like, really, where did all the good people go? I know I'm not the only one wondering this. So let's break it down. We live in a world where it's survival of the fittest, not survival of the most good. So where did all the good people go? Well, a lot of them are defensive. A lot of them are shut down. A lot of them are just trying to cope. A lot of them are hiding behind the bleachers. A lot of them turn to the other side because they realized, hey, it's the only way I can survive and I don't have a choice anymore. You know, we have gotten to that kind of place in society where people cannot choose to be good because they're just trying to survive. And when an organism is trying to survive, they cannot thrive. You know, as they say, heal people, and hurt people. And we live in a society that is unfortunately full of hurt people. So I was hearing the Big Sean song, gotta have faith to be faithful, gotta be great to be grateful. I saw the look that Cain gave Abel, jealousy. So there could be sibling rivalry here. There can be rivalries between old friends, new friends, family members, co-workers, bosses, employees. There's a lot of like stepping on necks. I was also hearing the song Uproar by Lil Wayne, and he's like, what the F though? Where'd the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let the one go. Then he's like, I don't bluff, bro, aiming at your head like a buffalo. You think you're a roughneck? Well, I'm a cutthroat. Say you're a tough guy. That's enough jokes. So buffaloes, you know, buffaloes face the storm and they go through the storm. They don't turn their backs to it. They don't sit and brace. They don't freeze. They literally go, oh, a storm's coming. And they look at the storm and they charge head on into the storm. And someone here can't believe that that's what you did because they threw a whole storm at you. And instead of you running or scared or letting the storm bulldoze you, you're like, I am going to be smart like a buffalo. And I know that if I go through the storm, I'll end up on the other side better. So there's a collective here. There's like a collective here that went through the storm. They faced it. They charged head on like a buffalo. And everyone else around them could have been looking at them like, or looking at you like, you're crazy. They're crazy. What are they doing? And it's funny, joke's on them, because now that they're all caught in the storm that you charged through, that you had the courage to get through, right? You went through that initiation. How? You had faith. Gotta have faith to be faithful. And it's funny because these other people who didn't make the moves when you made the moves, when you took a chance on yourself, they didn't do it because they didn't have faith. And it's funny because those people can be people who are like diehard churchgoers and diehard live by the Bible, but they really don't. And they could say that you don't, but you actually walk by faith and you actually have proof that your actions are from full faith in God. And it's funny because people could say, oh, they're crazy, they see things, they hear things. Okay, but all the prophets saw things and heard things, and the wind, you can't see it, but the wind is real. Like, you're not gonna try and tell me right now that the wind isn't real, right? Because that would be really unintelligent of you. So there's plenty of things that exist in the world that we cannot see with the naked eye, but we can measure in other ways. So there's something here with that. Now, heal people, and hurt people. And unfortunately, we live in a society right now that is full of hurt people. There is something here strongly with resonance, mirroring, and attunement. For example, if I bring my harp into a music store and I hit the string of C, then all of the instruments in that store, the C, will reverberate. So when we are around people that are healthy for our nervous system, that create vitality, that create health, then again, just like me hitting that C, and the C in that person, then reverberates and responds, it creates a responsiveness, a symbiosis. It creates an attunement and a healing. It creates a resonance. And we live in a world right now where everyone is out of tune, off key, they're flat or sharp. They don't even know their own tune, so they couldn't even dare tune a relationship of theirs. So we have people that are in relationships, they're both out of tune with themselves, so it will be impossible for them to get in tune with one another. And it all starts to get in tune with ourselves, to tune into the universe, to tune into God. And that is where half the world has it messed up. Because rather than facing the storm, which is charging through and connecting to God's source wholly and fully so that you can attune yourself to the key that he has set for you, You can't tune in to anyone else. You can't tune into your partner. You can't tune in and tap into your full life purpose. You can't tune into your highest gifts. You're just going to be following the monkey mind and doing the conveyor belt. I do this, plug in, 9 to 5, here's my time card, just, the monotony of life. I was also hearing beware the mischief of marvels. So someone here can also be tempted. So there are temptations, as we know. In the last collective reading, I was talking about Isaiah 45:7, where God says, I make peace and I make evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And people are like, why would, if God exists, why would he create bad things? Because it is our job as a human to be able to have self-control, to be able to be responsive rather than reactive, and to also to be able to control our urges and understand. As Carl Jung says, it is said, no tree may reach heaven whose roots don't stretch all the way down to hell. So God has to create both. God has both seats. And right now, so many people feel like it's easier to just go down south when it's really not. It takes, sure, initial courage and faith at the beginning, but if you really hand everything over to God, he really does carry you, but you have to hand everything over to him and trust him. And that's, again, the funniest part here, because there can be people who are die-hard churchgoers who say that you are not of the church when they do not walk by faith in any way, shape, or form. They walk by crookedness. They walk by getting over on people, by scamming people. They get over by lying to their partner because they think that, oh, well, I don't want to hurt them. So, I just rather lie to them. And, as a wedding photographer, I've even been a part of weddings where people are like, if you cheat on me, if you do something, just like, please never tell me, please never tell me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Like, where is that even a conversation? If you're just dishonest with me, like, please be dishonest with me. What? Like, I don't understand. Anywho, you may change and impact the world, or you can hang around toxic, judgmental people, but you can't do both, because when you're hanging around toxic, judgmental people, God is never going to put in your hands the highest responsibility, your highest calling, your highest alignment. He's not going to do that. You have to remove yourself from those people, because we are what we hang around. Just like I was talking at the beginning of this video, resonance. Resonance is key here. This is why some people have to walk alone right now, because there's simply no one around you who is also fully handing their life to God. There's no one around you who is in attunement, in alignment with their highest path that God has for their lives. Too many plastic people. I need something real. So I was hearing that from the song Really by Kyle. Really? Yeah, really? So maybe Kyle, Ken, Coda, because I was also hearing the song Coda the Friend, the Prodigal Son. So again, it's that Simba energy, which I talked about in the last message as well. Simba had to get away from Pride Rock, and Nala goes and finds him and is like, Simba, we need you back there. We need you. Actually, I think it was Pisces reading. We need you back there. And it's an energy of someone had to escape a situation or get away from a situation, but now you're needed. You are needed back on the front lines. I was also hearing reporting for duty. So someone here could be reporting for duty. It's not the vehicle. Remember, I said that in another one. It's the driver. In Matthew 23, Jesus said, the teachers of law and the Pharisees, they sit in Moses' seat. You must be careful to do everything that they tell you, but do not do what they do. Do what they tell you, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. They create heavy, cumbersome loads, and they put them on other shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger. And that's literally the society that we're in right now. People have bosses who are putting all the loads on other people, but they would never lift a finger. There are situations all across the board. People can be upset at you because of your expression of what God has put in your body. For me, it's I love dance. I'm not a stripper. I've never been a stripper, but because I like dancing and I like to dance with a pole, people will say nefarious things about me. And it's are you kidding me? That is the most sacred art form. And for you to pervert it and say that you're going to be God and you're going to put judgment over me is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And for all the other things in this world, what a person does and how they connect to art, how they connect to their heart, how they connect to God is between them and God. It's not between you and them and God. It's between them and God. And what you do is between you and God. So you should probably start focusing on that instead of focusing on what other people are doing. Also, on the outside, they appear to people as righteous, but on the inside, they're full of hypocrisy and wickedness. Matthew 23. This is where he talks about that as well. So there are a lot of people out here who are trying to act like they're righteous, who are trying to paint you out to be the bad guy, but it's becoming quite obvious to the people around that you are the buffalo charging through and that they are basically full of crap. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this.